Nuclear testing in the United States is a critical chapter in the story of nuclear weapons development and international affairs. It refers to the experimental detonations of nuclear weapons to understand their capabilities, effectiveness, and implications. These tests, conducted primarily during the mid-20th century, played a pivotal role in the U.S.'s establishment as a nuclear superpower and shaped global military and diplomatic dynamics. The largest nuclear test by the U.S. was the Castle Bravo test on March 1, 1954, in the Marshall Islands. At 15 megatons, it was far more powerful than predicted, significantly impacting the environment and residents of the nearby atolls. This historical context is significant as it highlights the scale and ambition of U.S. nuclear policy during the Cold War. It underscores the lengths to which nations went to assert dominance and the potential costs of such displays of power. Castle Bravo and similar tests illustrate the ambition and sometimes unforeseen dangers inherent in nuclear weapons development. For example, the test produced unexpected fallout that affected thousands of islanders and Japanese fishermen, leading to significant health issues and international criticism. This event echoed the fears and ethical debates surrounding nuclear weapons and testing. A real-world example of the importance of nuclear testing is the development of hydrogen bombs, of which Castle Bravo was a part. This advancement not only altered military strategies, but also initiated public debates about the consequences of nuclear war, proliferation, and the environment. Another example is the partial fallout shelters and civil defense drills that became part of American life, reflecting how nuclear testing indirectly shaped societal behavior and policies during this era. Opinions on this topic vary widely. Proponents argue that testing was necessary for national security and scientific progress. Critics contend that it caused irreparable environmental damage and contributed to an arms race that increased global nuclear tensions. Castle Bravo, specifically, is often cited in discussions about accountability and ethics in military science due to its tragic aftermath. The challenges and controversies surrounding U.S. nuclear testing include debates over the health impacts on populations exposed to fallout, the environmental destruction of test sites, and the ethical implications of using such powerful weapons. These tests influenced arms control discussions, leading to treaties such as the Partial Test Ban Treaty of 1963, which sought to limit the impact of further nuclear testing. Understanding the context of nuclear testing is crucial for grasping its influence on international treaties and defense policies. It also highlights the legacy of nuclear weapons development, emphasizing the need for responsible management of these powerful technologies as nations navigate geopolitical complexities. Welcome to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Today, we're sharing intriguing insights about the largest U.S. nuclear test in history. This colossal event, known as the Castle Bravo test, took place on March 1, 1954, at Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. Designed to test the efficacy of a hydrogen bomb, this explosive demonstration revealed the immense power harnessed through nuclear technology, delivering a yield of 15 megatons of TNT, far surpassing expectations and making it the largest nuclear detonation conducted by the United States. The significance of Castle Bravo cannot be overstated. It marked a pivotal moment in the arms race during the Cold War, epitomizing the intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union as both nations sought to showcase their nuclear prowess. This test underscored the sheer destructive capabilities inherent in nuclear weapons and had profound implications for global military strategy and international relations. Real-world applications of nuclear tests like Castle Bravo extend to both military and civilian domains. Firstly, they contributed to advancements in nuclear weapon design and technology, providing critical data that informed subsequent weapons development and military strategies aimed at deterrence. Secondly, these tests led to increased awareness of the potential fallout hazards, igniting environmental and health concerns that prompted changes in public policy and international agreements like the Partial Test Ban Treaty of 1963. Opinions on the necessity and impact of nuclear testing have been mixed. Some argue that such tests were crucial during the Cold War era, serving as essential deterrents against potential adversaries. However, others emphasize the ethical and humanitarian dilemmas these tests pose, especially concerning the severe environmental and health impacts observed in affected areas. Challenges and controversies surrounding Castle Bravo and similar nuclear tests include the devastating radioactive fallout that affected the indigenous populations of the Marshall Islands, leading to long-term health problems and displacement. Additionally, the event sparked international outrage and fueled debates over nuclear safety and disarmament. Castle Bravo's lasting legacy continues to influence discussions on nuclear policy and global security. It serves as a cautionary tale that highlights the profound and far-reaching impacts of nuclear technology. As nations continue to grapple with issues of proliferation and disarmament, understanding the historical context and consequences of such tests remains vital in shaping future policies and ensuring a safer, more secure world. The heading, Historical Background, the Development of Nuclear Weapons, introduces a critical context for understanding the largest U.S. nuclear test in history. The development of nuclear weapons began during World War II with the Manhattan Project, a secret U.S. initiative that culminated in the creation of the first atomic bombs. These weapons rely on nuclear reactions, either fission or fusion, which release massive amounts of energy. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 marked their first and only wartime use, highlighting their formidable destructive power and ushering in a new era in military strategy and international relations. Understanding this background is vital when discussing the largest U.S. nuclear test, as it frames the motivations and technological advancements that led to such tests. The Cold War era, characterized by geopolitical tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, saw rapid advancements in nuclear weapons technology, driven by the doctrine of deterrence. This doctrine held that possessing powerful nuclear capabilities could deter adversaries from launching attacks, thus maintaining global stability, albeit through a precarious balance of terror. Two notable examples illustrate the historical significance of nuclear weapons development. The first is Operation Crossroads in 1946, which tested the effects of nuclear explosions on naval ships, symbolizing the shift in naval warfare strategy. The second is the Castle Bravo test in 1954. As the largest U.S. thermonuclear test, producing a 15-megaton yield, it significantly shaped military policy and raised public awareness about the dangers of nuclear fallout, influencing arms control negotiations in subsequent decades. While nuclear weapons development is often justified by national security needs, it is also fraught with controversies. Critics argue that the mere existence of these weapons increases the risk of accidental or intentional nuclear war, posing an existential threat to humanity. Environmental and humanitarian concerns are raised due to the long-lasting effects of radiation exposure on people and ecosystems, exemplified by the Castle Bravo test's fallout affecting the Marshall Islands. This historical background interconnects with the broader topic by highlighting the technological and geopolitical underpinnings of nuclear tests. It underscores the intricate relationship between military innovation and ethical considerations. Additionally, it influences ongoing discussions about nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation efforts. As nations grapple with their nuclear legacies, understanding this development period becomes crucial for informed debate on contemporary nuclear policies and future tests. This background not only informs but also prompts viewers to reflect on the complex legacy of nuclear weapons in our world. Welcome to our channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Today we're diving into the fascinating topic of the largest U.S. nuclear test in history. When we talk about nuclear tests, we refer to the detonation of nuclear weapons to evaluate their effectiveness, yield, and explosive capacity. These tests have played a crucial role in the development and demonstration of military power during the 20th century, shaping geopolitical dynamics in profound ways. The largest U.S. nuclear test, known as Castle Bravo, took place on March 1, 1954, at Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. It was part of Operation Castle, a series of high-yield thermonuclear tests. Castle Bravo was significant not only for its size, but also for its unexpected intensity. The device yielded 15 megatons of TNT, more than double what scientists had predicted, making it the most powerful nuclear explosion ever conducted by the United States. This colossal detonation highlighted both technological prowess and the unpredictability of nuclear weapons. The significance of Castle Bravo extends to its geopolitical and environmental implications. At that time, it showcased U.S. nuclear supremacy during the Cold War, influencing global power structures and fueling the arms race with the Soviet Union. Moreover, the test had severe consequences for the environment and the local populations, particularly the inhabitants of the Marshall Islands, who suffered from nuclear fallout and its long-term health effects. One real-world application of understanding such a nuclear test is in international arms control agreements. Knowledge of the power and hazards of nuclear weapons led to treaties like the Partial Test Ban Treaty, aiming to restrict atmospheric nuclear testing. Another example is the enhanced safety measures and the push for non-proliferation discussions that arose from recognizing the catastrophic potential of such tests. While many historians and policymakers argue that the demonstration of such formidable power was necessary during the Cold War, others contend that nuclear testing comes with unacceptable humanitarian and environmental costs. The environmental devastation and the displacement of indigenous communities raise ethical concerns, sparking debates about the morality of nuclear armament. Controversies around nuclear tests also include issues of secrecy and the lack of informed consent from affected populations. These challenges highlight ongoing debates about disarmament and the responsibility of nuclear powers to reduce arsenals and prevent future tests. Castle Bravo's legacy influences current nuclear policies and disarmament efforts. It serves as a stark reminder of both the potential devastation of nuclear conflict and the need for careful diplomacy and international cooperation to manage nuclear arsenals and mitigate risks.